Hey everyone, I'm Anita. How are you all going? And let us hope I actually get to reading some books this month because I've just been absolutely terrible. Have had little to no focus at all when it comes to reading this past year. Pretty sad. Last year from going to like around 5 to 8 books a month to now just barely 4. That's sad. Okay, so before we actually get started into the TBR or building my TBR, I just want to tell you a little bit about my reading plans for this month. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping to read 6 books this month. I want to focus more on the genre categories in hopes that I will pick smaller books for those kind of categories. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping I can do that. And I do have sci-fi and fantasy in the genre category, so I'm hoping I don't pick books that are like a bit too chunky for me to read at this present moment. And to focus on continuing a series, because continuing a series, I'm already familiar with the characters, with the world and everything like that, so I'm hoping it will be a bit of a quicker read, and hopefully I can squeeze some more in. I'm always pushing to read a little bit more. It's just I haven't been. There is a new release coming out in September, and it's an anticipated one of mine. It is called A Sliver. Was it again? It is called A Sliver of Darkness by C.J. Tudor. I have read 2 books from this author before. The first one was The Chalk Man, and the second one was The Burning Girls. I absolutely loved The Burning Girls. It was incredible. I loved it so much. And this is a short story collection. I believe it'll be my first short story collection by this author or by any author. Oh wait, except for the Witcher series, except for that one. It'll be my first thriller / horror kind of short story collection. This book, I'm a little bit ashamed to admit and say that I just have not gotten to this book yet. This book that I'm going to talk to you about is a recent release. It came out early this year. Didn't have the mental capacity to read the damn thing. And that is The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It is the 4th book in the From Blood and Ash series. And I love it. I love the series so much. I did get up to like around 100 pages, 100 ebook pages in this book. I did not have the mental capacity or the focus that I needed to read this book. Just with stress factors and everything else going on in my life, I just wasn't able to fully commit to this book. So I had postponed it in the hopes that I will be returning back to it. I've had this book on my TBR for the past few TBRs, and I just haven't really prioritized it. I just haven't gotten around to reading it. But I will this month. It'll definitely happen. So I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown on what the book is about. It follows a woman named Poppy. She is a maiden. She can't be touched. She can't look at anyone. She can't speak to anyone. She can't experience pleasure. And in turn, the people in this palace where she is kept can't do the same to her. Like, they can't look at her, they can't talk to her, touch her, anything like that at all. And then a new guard comes along by the name of Hawk, and he's her new guard, and there's like a romance happening between them, but it is much more than that. I definitely feel like the 4th book is going to expand a little bit. I'm hoping to. We are getting some character development with Poppy as well in the 4th book, and that's a good thing. I really like character development. Sorry for the change of scenery. My legs were just killing me from the position that I was in. Now for the TBR builds, a portion of this video. This is the genre category. I'm hoping to pick 2 genres out of that category. I'm going to be picking 2, and I hope they're actually decent ones this month. But it's been going so good so far. Ooh, we got a horror. Ooh, okay, that actually turned out to be pretty good. A really good reading month, I think it's going to be. For horror, I have picked out The Summer Sons by Lee Mandello. It is about 2 boys. And this is also a part of my 5-star predictions as well. So, it is queer. It does have some sort of fantasy element as well, but it is horror, I've heard. Follows Andrew and Eddie. They did everything together. They were best friends, but Eddie left Andrew. I think there was like a suicide or something like that. 6 months later, only days before Andrew has to join him in Nashville, Eddie dies of an apparent suicide. He leaves Andrew a horrible inheritance, a roommate he doesn't know, friends he never asked for, and a gruesome phantom with bleeding wrists that mutters of revenge. As Andrew searches for the truth of Eddie's death, he uncovers the lies and secrets left behind by the person he trusted most, discovering a family history soaked in blood and death, whirling between the backstabbing academic world where Eddie spent his days and the circle of hot boys, fast cars, and hard drugs that ruled Eddie's nights. The walls Andrew has built against the world begin to crumble, letting in the phantom that hungers for him. And so it seems like it's also got a kind of dark academia kind of thing because it says backstabbing academic world, so it might have a little bit of an element of dark academia as well. And I had this book on my list like since I heard about it, and I've been wanting to read it for quite some time. This is the second genre. Let's see, is that one or two? I can't tell properly. I think that's one. Oh, damn it. Like, okay, we have a fantasy this time. Shit, there's no. Oh, crapperooey. Okay. It was one of the ones I didn't want to pick, but okay, we'll run with it. Fantasy was a little bit of a tricky one for me because I could have either gone for another continuing of a series that I had read like the previous year, or I could have gone with something different. And I was looking on my list to see what I had, and I also have another 5-star prediction that happens to be a standalone fantasy, which is rare these days, and that is The Binding by Bridget Collins. It looks like it's an alternate universe placed vaguely in reminiscent of 19th century England, and people visit bookbinders to rid themselves of painful or treacherous memories. And once that memory is placed into this book, they don't think of those memories anymore. They don't have those memories anymore. It's wiped clean basically because it's stored somewhere else so they don't have to live with it. A farmer has some sort of mental collapse. The boy's name is Emmett. He is sent to one of the binder workshops to live and work as an apprentice. Emmett slowly regains his health while learning the binding trade. He is forbidden to enter the locked room where books are stored, so he spends many months marbling end edges, tooling leather book covers and gilding edges, but his curiosity is piqued by the people who come and go from the inner sanctum, and the arrival of the lordly Lucian Darnay, with whom he senses a connection, changes everything. And I don't know if it's this book or if I'm thinking of another one, but I think he finds his own memory in there, or a family's memory, and he wants to know why. I think I'm getting it confused with another book. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, so I've had this book as well for quite a while, and I really do want to get to it. Okay, so we have all the books in here that I need to continue. There is one that I'm not ready to read yet, not because I don't like the series, but because I'm just really not ready because it's getting into like the 1,000 page plus territory. I'm not ready for that at all. Let's hope I'll actually pick a good one, shall I? Oh my god, you're kidding me. It must be my month because I have The War of Two Queens. Like, I've literally picked The War of Two Queens, which I said I was already going to read anyway. So I'm going to take this off the list because I already said I was going to read it. And I'm going to pick, oh my god, nearly choked. And I'm going to pick another one because I know I'm already going to be reading it this month. But this just solidifies it just a little bit more. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Okay, so I'll let you know as well, I will be picking two books to continue on in a series of. So this is going to be my first one, okay? Okay. So I picked Warriors of God. It is the second book in the Hussite trilogy by Andrzej Sapkowski. I am reading the first one. It's taking me a while to read it because I just haven't had the focus. But I am enjoying it. So, back-to-back series, huh? Because the third one comes out in October. Ooh, okay. I like that. That's actually a pretty good book to pick for this month. This book was a bit of an unexpected one. I actually picked out Warriors of God by Andrzej Sapkowski for the continuing of a series or continuation of a series, and I'm already reading the first one. And I'm taking such a long time because my focus has been minimal this past reading year. It's been zip, zero, zilch. So it's taking me longer to read books than it normally would. What's the first book again? And The Tower of Fools, which is the first book in this trilogy. I started reading a while ago and it's taking me forever to read, but I am enjoying it and I feel like I am reading it pretty quickly. This book is a little bit longer. The first book is like 550 pages. This is like 100 more. So it's 650 pages. And The Tower of Fools is about a man, Rainovan, who sleeps with a woman who, and that woman is married to a very high established, high ranking knight. And so Rainovan is on the run from them because they want to hunt him down because adultery is seen as a big fat old no-no. Rainovan travels through these countries, these war-torn countries, these countries that are on the verge of war all over religion. Who should be practicing who and who what and yada yada. And it's historical fiction fantasy. And I am absolutely enjoying it, I really am. And apparently I will be continuing on with the second one, so that is very interesting to me. So I don't know, maybe a back-to-back reading series? I don't know, but we shall see. I'm going to be reading this one apparently. Okay, we got the last one. The last one for a continuous series. Yes, 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 I wanted this one. I got Dune Messiah, which is book 2 in the Dune Chronicles by Frank Herbert. I wanted this one. I'm so happy I got it. Oh my gosh. I could not believe I ended up getting this book. Dune Messiah. I've been thinking about this book and I'm hoping that I would get it. Holy cow, I got it. I got it. So this is a part of a series, a very popular, well-beloved sci-fi series by Frank Herbert. This is the second one in it and noticeably much shorter. And a little fun fact, I had read this book, well, let me rephrase that. I started to read this book in the beginning of the year. Just my mental focus, my mental capacity just was not having it with this book, but I was loving it and I just postponed it. So okay, sorry, got interrupted then. Does that look good? No, I need to get better equipment. Okay, Dune Messiah. It follows Paul Atreides and his family as they come into possession of this planet called Arrakis. House Harkonnen were previous rulers of this planet called Arrakis, where there is this spice. And this spice on this planet controls the galaxy because it has very special properties. The Harkonnens are not happy that House Atreides have ownership over this land, and so they try to get vengeance. They want House Harkonnen wants this planet back, and they plot a scheme to murder House Atreides. And it's more than that though, and I'm realizing it with the second book that the Dune series is so much more than that. It's about politics, it's about corruption, it's about what overuse of this element called spice can do to you. And this is, like I said, this is a lot shorter. I have the rest of the books in this series and I'm hoping to continue it. I'm not going to finish it this year, like no way in heck. When I started reading this book in the beginning of the year, and I had postponed it because I just was not thinking clearly and everything like that. This is like a 5-star read, and I predict that it will also be a 5-star read. There was just so much politics in it, and I just really loved it. I think this is actually a pretty, I think this is actually a pretty good little pile. We've got more ebooks than anything, and I tend to read ebooks a little bit quicker. Fingers crossed, I can actually read everything this time. And thank you very much for watching. Let me know, what books are you going to be reading? I would like to know. Have you read any of these books? If so, what did you think of them? And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!